See, your willpower, your desire to stop gambling will never be enough if you want to break free from gambling addiction. Your willpower will never be enough. There's one guy that chatted me some days back and he was complaining bitterly about how he tried so much to stop gambling. He has stayed for about 6 months without gambling, and then at the end of the day, he still relapsed. And he felt disappointed in himself, and he chatted me up. So I told him certain things, and those things that I said to him, I'm going to share with you in this video. Because like I just said, willpower is never enough when it comes to breaking free from gambling addiction. Willpower will never be enough. There are some actions that you need to take, real life actions. There are some real actions that you need to take that may sometimes be painful to you, but at the long term, it will be very beneficial. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that you need to do if you want to break free from gambling addiction. And maybe you have tried to stop, you have told yourself you are never going to gamble again, but at the end of the day, you still end up gambling. So these are the 3 basic things that you need to do. So before I start, if you have watched my video before and you are yet to subscribe to this channel, what I want you to do right now is to press that subscribe button, subscribe to the recovery channel, and also like this video. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Facebook. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing you need to do if you want to break free from gambling addiction and your willpower is not enough, you have to disconnect the access. You have to, every betting site, every gambling website, you have to disconnect your access to those websites. And one of the ways that you can do that is to download Bet Blocker. So if you are watching this video right now and you have never downloaded Bet Blocker before, you don't have Bet Blocker on your phone, I want you to go and download Bet Blocker in Play Store. So make sure you download Bet Blocker. That is the very first thing that you need to do. And also, if you are a kind of person that don't gamble with your phone, maybe you go to betting shops, you need to stay away from those betting shops. You need to stay away from those areas. You need to stay away from that area completely. And if you have friends that are actively into gambling, you need to disassociate yourself from them. You need to disassociate yourself from them and, get serious with your life. Those are the difficult things that you need to do. It's not easy breaking free from your friends because of gambling addiction, but you have to do that because your boat is already sinking. It's just like the way, okay, if this boat is sinking now, I have to find my way. I know my life, depends on the next action I'm going to take. So I have to take desperate actions. So now your life depends on stopping gambling addiction. In my last video, I said that if you don't stop gambling, that you are just in the list of the queue of those that are going to, eventually commit suicide. Because a lot of people are committing suicide because of gambling-related issues. So the very first thing you need to do, if your willpower is not enough to help you stop gambling, you have to download Bet Blocker. Stay away from friends that are actively gambling. You need to tell them that you are having some problems and you are trying to fix your life, and that you do not want to have any discussion with them about gambling. And if they don't want to respect that decision, then you have to end that kind of relationship because it's not helping you. So that is the very first thing you need to do if your willpower is not strong enough to help you stop gambling. You have to download Bet Blocker. That is the very first thing that you need to do. Now the second thing you need to do if you really want to break free from gambling addiction and your willpower is not strong enough to help you break free from gambling addiction, the next thing you need to do is to interrupt the urge. You need to interrupt the urge. And how do you interrupt the urge? You have to stay busy. The urge to gamble will never stop. Even after you might have completely break free from gambling addiction, the urge to gamble will always come once in a while. So you have to make sure you stay occupied. Do things that will take away the thought of gambling from your mind. Stay occupied. If you are in the house feeling bored and the thought of gambling comes into your mind, you can step out. You can just take a walk. Or you can just go into the shower. You can just, have a bath and then come out. You feel better and Before you know it, the thought of gambling will go away. And as it's going away, it's not going away forever. Like I said, the urge to gamble never stops. It's how you deal with it that matters. So you need to interrupt that urge. You can call somebody, call a person that you have already discussed your gambling addiction with. Call your therapist. If you are married and you have discussed this issue with your wife or your husband, call your husband when you are feeling the urge to gamble. Call your wife when you are feeling the urge to gamble, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, your family member. But you have to be vulnerable to the extent that you disclose your gambling problem to that person, so that once you call him or her, the person will easily understand what you are going through at that moment. So that is the second thing you need to do. You need to interrupt the urge. You need to interrupt the urge by engaging yourself, by staying busy, by calling somebody immediately, by just walking out. If you are feeling bored in the house and then the thought of gambling comes into your mind, just take a walk. Get busy. And then once you are busy, that urge that comes in 2-3 minutes, it will go away and you live your normal life. So those are the desperate actions that you need to take. That is the number 2 action you need to take if your willpower is not strong enough to help you break free from gambling addiction. So the third thing you need to do if you want to break free from gambling addiction and your willpower is not strong enough, the third thing you need to do is to build a system. You need to build a strategy that will help you break free. And building a system is not something that you do overnight. Your strategy to stop gambling is not my own strategy. What I do that helped me break free from gambling addiction, if I tell you, if you try to implement it, it may not work for you. So you need to build a system. Gambling addiction, there was one video that I made. I tried to explain how this addiction happens and how you can break the cycle. And in that video, I said that gambling addiction is like a fire triangle. It takes 3 things for fire to happen. And if you take out one thing out of that 3 in the triangle, then the fire will not take place. So for instance, now if you talk about fire, you must have the fuel, you must have the source of ignition, and there has to be oxygen. If those 3 things are present, that is when fire can take place. But if you take out oxygen, or if you take out fuel or source of ignition, there's no way fire will take place. So now let's bring it back to gambling. If you are having gambling problem, it therefore means that you cannot manage your money. You cannot manage your resources. You can't manage your money. And if you take out your money out of that triangle, if you take out your money, if you give somebody your money to take control of, then there's nothing that you can gamble with. In the gambling triangle, we have the betting app or the betting shop seated at the top. You have your money. And then you have the urge, the dopamine rush that will make you want to gamble. So if you cannot take out the betting app by downloading bet blocker, if you cannot stop gambling by having a strong willpower, then you have to take away that money. You have to give somebody your money to manage for you, to keep for you. So somebody has to be in charge of your money. Somebody has to manage your finances. Because as a gambling addict, money does not have value to you. That is the truth. Because if money has value to you, you won't spend it on gambling. Just know that you can't manage money. So once you know that you can't manage money, you have to hand over your resources, your money, for somebody to manage for you. So that is very important. That is the aspect that you also have to look at. You have to have a system. You have to develop a strategy, and that is very important. If you can have somebody that you trust, maybe your wife, your a family member, or even your bank manager, anybody at all that you can trust with your money, you tell the person, look at what I'm going through. Look at what I'm going through, and look at what I want you to help me do. I want you to help me keep my money. I can't manage my money because I'm addicted. If I have 100,000 naira, if I have 1 million naira in my account, I'm going to use it to gamble. So because I don't want to use my money to gamble again, I want you to help me manage my money. So the person will monitor your in and out transaction. It will monitor all the money that comes in and out of your account. And you will stay accountable to that person. So once you have somebody that you are accountable to, just know that you have already broken free from that addiction. And it's just a matter of time before you start living your normal life. So you need to have somebody that you are accountable to financially. That is the only way you can break that triangle, that gambling triangle. I call it gambling triangle, not fire triangle this time, gambling triangle. So you need to break free from that gambling triangle. That is the best strategy. And trust me, if you do one of these three things, if you can do one of these three things, then definitely you are going to break free from gambling addiction. So I hope this helped. My name is Toski and this is the Recovery Channel. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, press the subscribe button. Also like this video. My name is Toski, like I said, and this is the Recovery Channel. See you in my next video. Bye.